breaking news of a mass shooting on Chicago's South Side. We just learned 12 people were hurt. Asal Razai is live at UChicago Medical Center as officers investigate. And Asal,
it was supposed to be a celebration. Juneteenth, a holiday marking freedom, a night for community, for music, for fireworks, for joy. On West 95th Street in Chicago's Roseland neighborhood, hundreds of people had gathered to celebrate. Then just after 11 p.m. Friday night, everything changed. This is DTCN, Daily True Crime News, and this is what happened on Chicago's South Side. According to Chicago police, a red SUV pulled up alongside a large crowd. On West 95th Street near Wentworth Avenue, two people inside that vehicle opened fire directly into that crowd, then drove away into the night. When officers arrived at the scene, what they found stopped them cold. Over 100 evidence markers scattered across that street, over 100 marking every single shell casing, every piece of evidence left behind by two people who opened fire into a crowd of innocent people celebrating a holiday. 13 people were shot that night, victims ranging in age from just 17 years old to 47 years old. Two of those victims, a man and a woman, were discovered first by officers arriving on scene. Both had suffered multiple gunshot wounds. The remaining victims, many of them transported themselves to hospitals across the South Side. Others were rushed to the University of Chicago Medical Center. At least one victim was in critical condition. An additional man was also hurt, but refused medical treatment at the scene. Witnesses described the moment the shots rang out. One person standing nearby said, "They heard what they thought were fireworks. It was Juneteenth after all. Fireworks were expected, but then they realized this was different. They said, you knew that was not fireworks when you could hear it." So yeah, it is a shame that it has to happen during the holidays. Street pastor Donovan Price was at the scene. He ministers in that exact neighborhood. He described what he saw. Between 7 and 11 people possibly shot. He said, "It is just tragic. At least one of them is in critical condition. It should have been a celebration in there. Fireworks should not turn into gunshots." He said this shooting does a disservice to the community and to everything Juneteenth is supposed to stand for. A holiday about freedom turned into a crime scene with over 100 evidence markers on a street that should have been filled with nothing but celebration. As of this morning, no arrests have been made. Chicago police have no one in custody. In connection with this shooting, investigators are currently reviewing surveillance footage from the area, trying to identify the red SUV and the two people inside it who opened fire into a crowd of people and drove away. As if the lives they shattered meant nothing. And this mass shooting was not the only violence Chicago saw that night. While officers were responding to the Roseland shooting, Chicago police were simultaneously investigating multiple homicides. Across different neighborhoods on the South Side, a 37-year-old man was shot in the neck in the Douglas neighborhood. A 50-year-old man was shot in the chest in the Greater Grand Crossing neighborhood. A 34-year-old man was shot in the chest in Austin, all on the same night, all while a city was supposed to be celebrating. Chicago's South Side has seen this before, too many times. Holidays that turn into crime scenes, celebrations interrupted by gunfire, communities that deserve peace, getting anything but. A red SUV pulls up, two people open fire into a crowd, and then drive away, leaving 13 people bleeding on a street in Roseland on a night that was supposed to be about freedom. 13 people went to a Juneteenth celebration on Friday night. They heard what they thought were fireworks. And then they were running and bleeding and being loaded into ambulances and being rushed to hospitals across the South Side of Chicago. 13 people, no arrests, no suspects in custody, a red SUV, and over 100 evidence markers on a street in Roseland. That is where this investigation stands tonight. DTCN will be following every update as Chicago police work to identify those responsible. Subscribe to DTCN, turn on your notifications, and stay with us. This is Daily True Crime News.